Today we're going to start a series on water. This is going to start with some real basic stuff, and we'll move into some more typical lifestyle skills and then some more hardcore prepper stuff. But water is one of the most critical things you can have in your preps, and the easiest way to have water is to store it in big blue jugs or some other system where you've got it stored on your property and that you have some way to replenish it and work through it. With water, you've got to store a gallon per person per day that you plan on taking care of. So if you're preparing for a 2-week scenario where things are down for 2 weeks, you're looking at 14 days. And if you're taking care of, say, 5 people for those 14 days, they each need a gallon of water each day. So that's 5 gallons times 14 days is 70 gallons of water that you need to store for that 14-day period. Well, that's generally going to be a 55-gallon barrel and then, another second 55-gallon barrel. But if you're storing for, say, 3 months for 10 people like me, then it's a much bigger scenario that you're looking at. It becomes very cumbersome and unrealistic to store that much water. So we look at doing other things, how to gather additional water, how to prepare that water, how to make sure it's safe to drink, and so on. One of the important things that we'll talk about in this series is how to filter water, how to take water that you don't know anything about and clean it up so that you can use it. We'll talk about lots of different ways to make sure that water is safe to use, and we'll talk about several ways that you can gather water and several ways that you can store water around your house. The problem with water that comes from an unknown source, or that you don't know what's happened to it since it was last cleaned, whether it was rainfall or whatever, is that there can be all kinds of things in it. You can have sediment floating in it, you can have bacteria, you can have pathogens, you can have viruses, you can have all kinds of things in that water that are microscopic that you can't see. So all of those things can make you very sick. So you don't want to drink that water until you know that it's been properly taken care of. When it comes to getting water ready to drink, it may come to you in a lot of different states. So we may have some nice clean looking water like this, and this might look safe to drink, but until we purify it either chemically or through filters, we don't know anything about it. But that water might also come to you looking something more like this. Say the only water source is a drainage ditch. Now, or it could be just a puddle in the road or something nasty. Now this water, obviously you wouldn't want to drink this. So there's all kinds of grass and rocks and leaves and other yucky stuff floating in here. Plenty of dirt. Now to get this ready to drink, we could completely shock it with bleach and technically it would be safe to drink. Or we could boil it and technically it would be safe to drink. But it's still going to look like this. And it's still going to have all this sediment and other junk in it. So if we're going to filter it, we don't want to ruin our filters. So we need to have a pre-filter that's going to take care of all the big stuff so that we're not putting as much wear and tear on our regular filters if we're going to filter it. If we're going to boil it or treat it, we still want to pre-treat this water. We want to pre-filter it. You can take any kind of cloth and use it as a pre-filter. I can just put this over, and this is going to catch a lot of this junk for me as I pour it in. Now you can see what we've done is we've still transferred a fair amount of dirt, and we've turned this clear water into dirty water. But if you look here, we've also removed all of this kind of junk. So this isn't a very fine filter, but this water, once it was treated, it would still be probably a little gritty, but it's not going to be near as bad to drink. So we've got a basic cloth type filter. You could use a shirt, you could use anything like that to pre-filter this water. And on a large level, if you're bringing back 5-gallon buckets of water, then you can pour the water into a pre-filter bag like this, and you hold this over your water collection area, and you pour the water down into this pre-filter bag, and it will filter out all the big stuff for you. So that's it really for our introduction to water, and this has all been just the basics. We've kind of gone over what you need to store water for, why you need to store it, how much you need to store, and the importance of pre-filtering. As we get into this further, we're going to talk in other videos about how to use filters, how to use chemical purification systems, how to do storage, how to do rainwater catching, how to do solar distillation. All of those will come in future videos. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll have more videos coming out on water throughout the week, and we look forward to having you watch those, and thanks for checking us out.